How do I pluck my eyebrows, or where? I do it in front of a window with a natural light. That's the best way. And then I use a regular mirror and a magnifying mirror. I have this that is 10 times the magnifying power. And what I do is I lay on my tummy. Not right now because I'm almost 30 weeks pregnant. But what I usually do is I lay on my tummy and I put a pillow, and then I put the mirror. But sometimes people just do this, but it's not very accurate on what you're doing. So what I do is I put it on a pillow, and then I help myself with a hand, lifting the brow, and then watching very closely the hair on the magnifying mirror. But it's very important that every so often you go ahead and stop using the magnifying mirror and you use a regular one at a regular distance so you can see what you're doing. Because if you have some distortion with the magnifying mirrors, you might think you're doing it well, but if you don't look at yourself in your real, like in a reality mirror, you might end up with crooked, seriously crooked eyebrows. So that's my suggestions for how to pluck it, and natural light is very, very helpful. Now, how to fill in the eyebrows. What I mainly use for my eyebrows is eyeshadow with mixing medium. It's a very nice, natural way to, and also long-lasting way to fill in my eyebrows, and other people's too, because I don't know, I find it easier and more forgiving than pencils. But pencils are useful too. You just have to find the right color. One of my favorites that I have is Maybelline Tween Eye Expert. It's like a couple of little red case pencils that are like regular pencils. They're not retractable or anything. And I love the color blonde because it goes well with almost any hair color except for red. And it also I also like it for black hair because it's truly almost invisible, and you can see the effect that it creates, and it really fills in very nicely the brows, but you don't see it, and it's waterproof. So when you lean your face on your boyfriend or your husband, you're not going to leave him with a third eyebrow. So it's very important that if you pick an eyebrow pencil, it's a waterproof one, or like a water resistant or smudge proof one. And as for the powders, you can find a nice color powder almost in any eyeshadow line. You don't have to use like a specially formulated powder just for eyebrows. Even though I've tried the Anastasia ones, and they're really nice, and they're very long lasting. You don't have to spend like $25 in a powder, eyebrow powder. You can find what I do use for my eyebrows is this Sally Girl eyeshadow. The kind that you connect and you make your own customized palettes. It's very nice. I use Bark for myself. Bark is a color, and it's a taupe color. And I really like it. You see I hit pan on it already, but it's $1, so it's no big deal. It's matte, and that's something you have to find when you try to find a powder for your eyebrows. That is, if you're going to use an eyeshadow, just find one that is not shimmery or has like a pearlescent quality to it, because it's going to look weird on your eyebrows. But anyways, you can find any kind of cheap eyeshadow kits that comes with a lot of colors. Sometimes I use this one, and it works real well. It's kind of a little bit warmer than this that I like, and this is a gray base. I really like it. This is Revlon's Wet Dry Shadow. This color is blushed. It will be really nice for strawberry blonde because it's a brownish, but since it has a hint of pink, it really goes on really nicely. So you might try this, or with beige for lighter colors, or dark blonde that it has a beige tint to it, it really works well with that. And yeah, so a taupe color is very forgiving, and you never, never, never use black on your eyebrows. So I'm gonna show you how I fill in the brows. I use an angled brush. I use a little bit of mixing medium, just a tiny drop. I recommend that the brow brush is a firmer one. If it's too flimsy, it's not going to work very well. It's not going to deposit enough color, or it's not going to go to the skin, because, you know, eyebrows tend to be like coarse and thicker kind of hair. So what I do is I follow the eyebrow direction, the natural direction. Like in this part, it goes up in my case. And I just trace feathery strokes upwards, because my eyebrows grow upwards here. Like, and I do that until I get to the highest point of my eyebrow. Then I start going down in a straight line. Well, not a straight line, but I use also feathery strokes, but in that direction, until it fades away and gets thinner and thinner to this part that it has to end. So that's pretty much the shape that I give to my eyebrows. If you're Asian, you might have a problem with your eyebrows going down, but you can fix that by combing them up and cutting the excess, and then setting up with a brow gel. But I'm going to go to that in a minute. Okay, so I have my brows filled in, and I just tried to fill the gaps. If you have a problem with having like a curve down here, you just try to use a straight line to make that even, like this, and that'll give you a cleaner look and a more even shape, and it's going to balance. It's going to be a better balance for your features than using like a curve down here. We don't want any curves in this part, okay? And I'm going to show you how a black looks on the eyebrows. But I'm going to show you how ugly black pencil looks, and what's the difference between the taupe and the black. If you're going to pick a pencil, you don't use a creamy one, because if it's too creamy, it's going to, you know, melt away with the heat. Just sharpen the tip very well, and just try to give like feathery strokes, as I said, like if they were tiny little hairs. I try to do like a rounded square, we might say, but not a square, because it looks horrible when you see like two squares right here. It looks horrible. Okay, so I just fill in the gaps, get to the highest point, and then go down from that point to the end of the brow. Like very lightly. I'm not holding the pencil like this. I'm holding it like laying on my face. I'm going to be using like this kind of brush, and I'm going to blend the powder, just following the natural way, the natural growth. Being really careful that I don't have any sharp edges here. And I'm going to blend the other side, even though I know it's not going to look natural, even if I blend it. With pencil, you need to blend a little bit more. And you can get a beautiful look with pencil, but it has to be like not too creamy. Okay, see how ugly that black looks there? It looks harsh. It doesn't matter how much I blend it. It looks harsh. This is not the method. Look how harsh. If I do this, look how ugly the black looks. You can use any gel. This is the e.l.f. clear mascara. Virtually any brand, even the cheapest, has a clear mascara that you can use. Comb like upwards a little bit, or following the natural shape of your of your brow, but kind of upwards and then going down from the highest point down. You might find that your eyebrows grow like this, like downwards. What you can use is what you can do is to comb your eyebrows upwards, like all the way, so you look like Ernie, or Bernie. Was it Bernie? Yeah, Bernie from Sesame Street. That way. Look at that. Look at that. And then you go ahead and take a pair of like scissors or something. This is not these are tweezers, but I just wanted to show you that you just trim all the excess that you have. And now that you trimmed all the excess, you can go ahead and comb the way you want, like going upwards and then downwards. I overplucked my eyebrows. What do I do? If you want to let your eyebrows grow, don't let grow all around your eye, because you know that you'll never want to sport an eyebrow, like all the hairs that we have all over the lid. So just what I do when I feel I need to get a thicker eyebrow for the next season, what I do is I just let the ones that are the closest to my eyebrow, and every week I will let another row to grow. And meanwhile, I can fill it in with powder, and that'll look more natural and less disgusting than just letting my eyebrows grow just like that. And sometimes when I didn't have the time, I didn't have the chance or the energy to pluck my eyebrows, and I need to look good, and I don't want to look like hairy all over the lid, what I do is I take a concealer, preferably like a long-lasting one, and a wand, because this gives me a lot of precision and that covers well, and I just trace a line underneath like that, and I use like a makeup wet and smooth that concealer, and that really helps. And my last trick would be the beige liner for under this eye, like a highlight kind of pencil. There's more expensive ones. There's ones that are like more shimmery, but I like to use this kind of beige matte finish ones, like creamy ones. Now, if you have a problem that you lost your eyebrows, or you plucked them for so long that you only have like a teeny tiny bit right here, what you can use is stencils. There's a lot of brands nowadays that carry the stencils. You just have to find the one that flatters you the most. If you're the right color and the right product, you can get away with using them. But what I really suggest is that if you use stencils, try to blend after you use the product to fill the stencil in with them. Try just to use one of these brushes and blend slightly the shape that you just made, because it's going to give a softer effect. Instead of like a sharpied on kind of eyebrow, you're going to soften the effect a lot, and you're not going to look as harsh. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I know there's gazillion videos here on YouTube about this topic of the eyebrows. If you have any questions or whatever, just let me know. If I haven't answered that in any other videos, I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.